and said, "The Lord is my shepherd; I see what I want."
You're so funny. You're
Well,
hilarious.
thank
Oh
you.
my God. You are, yeah,
Okay.
that's what we love. We love so much that we get not just your amazing motivation and incredible inspiration, but we get so much of your personality. And you let us know that it's okay for us to laugh at ourselves. Thank you for that.
Without any question. And laughter is so important. Most people don't know 2 minutes of laughter boosts your immune system for over 24 hours.
Wow.
Yes, 2 minutes of
That's
laughter
powerful.
boosts your immune system for over 24 hours. 1 minute of anger weakens your immune system for 4 to 5 hours.
Wow.
So it's very important that we are mindful and that we are aware and that we learn to observe things, step back, check it out, put it in perspective, and respond to it rather than react to it. Isn't that interesting?
It is very, very interesting.
Yes. Now, what time is
It's
it?
very
What time
interesting.
is it right now?
Well, technically, by the flyer that was put out in the promotion,
No, I'm not.
we have 15 more minutes, so it's
Okay.
9:45.
Okay. East Coast time.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Well, I want to
Yes.
ask you some questions, please.
Yeah, let's
All
do
right,
that.
ladies and gentlemen, this is China, and so she's going to be talking at the top of the hour about a business that's helping people to learn new strategies in this global economy on how to create wealth. But before we go there, China, I want you to think about when you were a little girl,
Mm,
going into your imagination,
mm-hmm,
around 5 or 6, looking
mm,
around. Are you there?
mm. I am.
Who's the most influential person that you saw? Someone that you admired, someone that you looked up to, and someone who they impacted you to this day. Their stamp is on you. Who's that person?
It's my mom,
Your mother. What's her name?
Wanda. Wanda Parker.
Wanda Parker. Come on now.
Yes.
There's Wanda Parker.
Yes, Miss Parker.
Yes, give me using the number one adjective that best describe her, and this is what I do when I train speakers. Tell me the first quality using a single adjective that you admired about your mother and a story.
Yeah.
What's number one?
Her presence.
Her presence?
Her presence.
Tell me about that.
Her presence was amazing. She was a very hard working woman. She worked two, sometimes three jobs just to make sure that we had what we needed.
Hmm.
And even if she went without having what she needed, she always made sure that we had what we needed. And even though she worked a lot, we always had her there. And her presence was amazing. You know, whether it was a graduation or whether it was a school play or whether it was some extracurricular activity that we really could not afford that I wanted to get involved in, she made a way and she was there. And it has impacted my life in such an incredible way because she worked hard and she did what she needed to do to make sure that she provided for us, even if she went without.
This is something that just dropped in my spirit. I want you to write down how to create
Yes.
a wonderful life. And then the subtitle is Things I Learned from My Mother.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so we're going to talk about this. Okay, so she made a way out of no way. She was an
Yeah.
unstoppable person. What's the next adjective that you remember most about her?
Most after her presence is the authority that she, and I know that's not an adjective, if you will,
That
but it's
is,
a
go ahead,
describing
go
word. So
ahead, yes.
it's her authority. It's this authority that she had.
Hmm.
My mom and dad are still married. He's a strong man. It was something though about the authority that she carried. Like we could get away with some stuff with our dad, but
Mm-hmm.
not my mama. She
Yeah.
was that authority figure. You ain't gonna to this day, I'm a grown woman with my own kids. I don't play with my mama. I'm
Yes.
not gonna talk a certain way. I'm totally respectful. I don't care how grown I get. I don't cuss anymore, but if I did, I still would not feel that I had the authority to do that in front of her. So it would be her authority figure
Boy.
that she, yeah.
Well, she reminds me of Mamie Brown. Let the record show.
Uh
Come on now.
oh.
Okay. And then tell me another quality about her.
She was loving, even though she was what I like to call the whooping mama. Like you get whooped, Johnny on the spot. You don't wait till you get home.
Right.
It's before all them laws came out where you couldn't do these things. You
Yeah.
get whooped right. You do something, you flip, because I was flip. I always had a little flip mouth.
Uh-huh.
Right there on the spot, you got dealt with. But she was so loving. Like we would to this day, we do it still now, but we would get in the bed and we'll watch a movie and we would mush with each other. That's what we call it. We'll just get all mushy and just cuddle. And we make these little sounds. It was the cutest little sounds that only a mother and a child probably could understand. And we just all up in each other's, connected and just the love.
Mm,
Amazing. Priceless.
fantastic. All right.
Yeah.
So, was the first quality you recognize, what was that first quality?
Her presence.
Her presence.
Even though she worked a lot, she was there.
Yeah, and,
Hmm.
and then the second thing was her authority.
Authority.
And
Hmm.
the third thing,
She was loving.
loving. Okay, so
She is
so
loving.
I'm going to take it from the back and go back. Ladies and gentlemen,
Okay.
my name is China. I want you to think about your goals and dreams right now. And as you think about them, I'm reminded of my mother. Her name was Wanda. And my mother, she was a person who impacted me tremendously. And as you look at your personal goals and at your financial goals and your social contribution, let me share something with you. I want you to write this down. My mother was loving. It was Zig Ziglar who said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And my mother, Wanda, oh my God, she was a loving person. She respected people, she valued people, she loved us, and she made us feel love. And as you look at yourself and look at business now, that you have to love on your customers, that people can smell commission breath. People don't want to be treated like a transaction. People want to be respected and valued and know whether or not you care about them as a person. There's so many situations where I've seen people being insensitive and disrespectful of people. And if you're serious about having your own business, if you're serious about attracting and keeping customers, if you're serious about building an organization, love. God is love, and he who dwelleth in love dwelleth in God, and God in them. And my mother, Wanda, oh boy, she is a loving person. The other thing is that whatever you do, you have to own your space. My mother, she carried herself like an authority. Let the record show that there's a way in which she held herself that we knew that you don't want to go up against this. We knew that she had standards that she required that we respect and that we honored. And she didn't have to say it. It was the way that she carried herself. There were things we can get away with my father, but when it came to my mother, we knew there's a certain standard that she required from us and how we carried ourselves, and the standard of how she wanted us to carry ourselves in our communication with her. I am amazed today when I hear kids or adults curse in front of their parents. I would never do that. Never. Oh no, that won't happen with my mother. And she won't have to say it. She is the kind of person when you're acting out, all Wanda had to do was to look and raise her eyebrow. And you got yourself in order. And there, as we look at ourselves and look at the things that we want to do, that we want to carry ourselves in an authoritative type of way, not in terms of being egotistical and not in terms of being domineering, but operating out of the thinking of Henry David Thoreau, who said, do not go where the path may lead, but go where there's no path and leave a trail. Hold yourself to a higher standard. We've heard the saying, practice what you preach, but there's another way to look at that. Preach what you practice. And the reason that I respect my mother so much, the authority that she has been in my life, is that she lived from that place, that today in business, today in leadership, today, if you are working with people, you want to hold yourself to a higher standard. Today, you want to be the message as well as the messenger. And the other thing, as you look at your goals and look at your dreams, is something else that's very important. And what was that first step? That first thing was presence. Presence. There are people who come in a room, and there are people who enter a room. And my mother, her presence was always strong. You felt it. It was strong. And as you look at the goals and things that you want to achieve in life, find a way to make yourself stand out. Find a way that people will look to you as an authority. People will gravitate to you because of your loving personality. People will want to be around you because of your presence, because of your positive energy. We all have an energy signature, and people love being around my mother. Her presence, people just gravitated to her. And that was not just because of her external beauty and attractiveness, but her internal beauty and attractiveness, and how she held herself, and how she held others, and how she treated people. Yes, there are many steps to become successful in life, and I submit to you that when you have presence, and some people call that the it factor, when you carry yourself as an authority, and I say to you that that's something that you have, something that you love, and something that you master. It's something of who you are. And that when you are loving, oh, the possibilities of how you are able to become successful are unlimited. It has been said that love, inspiration, and happiness are perfumes you can't sprinkle on others without getting a few drops on yourself. Oh, I learned so much about life from my mama, Wanda. What a woman. Come on, somebody.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Now I didn't know I was gonna be on here for this, so I got my tissue right here. I'm trying to refrain from getting emotional so my eyelashes don't fall off. And this is a priceless moment. You said, wow, what a woman, Wanda. This is
Yes.
priceless for me, Les.
Mm. Did you get
This
some
is
value out of that?
priceless. I got so much value out of it. And I got an opportunity to see a glimpse into Mamie Brown's baby boy and the story that's been told around the world,
Hmm.
and how deep that was for you. And just to have this moment alone is priceless. Like, I feel like this is a book that I need to write. And I
Absolutely.
don't want this moment to be
Well,
wasted.
my success in this industry, what gave me success, the success that I stepped into, I got from my mother, because my mother was a great storyteller. When I was a kid, my mother had swollen ankles from arthritis, and I would rub her ankles, and I said, Mama, tell me a story. My brothers and sisters would be outside playing, and they'd heard the stories and they were not interested. And she would say, Leslie, I've told you these stories 100 times. I said, Mama, tell me again. And the reason that I did, she told it with the same excitement. She told it with the same passion and energy. And I did not know there's some things that you experience that you can't see looking forward, that you can only see looking back. That that experience, rubbing my mother's ankles and rubbing her feet, I give a good foot massage. Let me tell you, I had no idea that listening to my mother, learning to listen, one of the things I teach, China, is that the best communicators are the best listeners. And learning to listen, people really, to a large extent, a lot of people don't listen. I was in church and a lady was coming toward me and she said, praise the Lord, how you doing? I said, I'm dying. She said, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. That's good, that's good.
Wow. Oh my
She
goodness.
never heard me.
Wow.
Yes.
Jeez Louise. Oh my
So it's
goodness.
just a rhetorical praise the Lord, okay? And so
Wow.
but I learned
Wow.
how to listen. The best communicators are the best listeners. The other thing is the industry has been built upon the Dale Carnegie course and Think and Grow Rich. The Dale Carnegie course, very good course. Tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. And Mike Williams, and he wrote the book, and I want you to get it, called The Road to Your Best Stuff. The Road to Your Best Stuff by Mike Williams. I wrote the foreword for it. And China, he's still my mentor to this day. Next year will be 50 years. And he said, Brownie, he said, never let what you want to say get in the way of what people want to hear. He said, learn,
Wow.
find out who they are, conduct communications intelligence. And the other thing is, he said, find out their story. Because with those
Mm.
questions that I ask you about your mother, anybody watching us right now will say, you have a striking appearance and presence. When I first saw you, you have a striking appearance and presence. You stand out. You hold yourself to a high standard. And when you speak about what we're going to talk about tonight, when you speak about whatever business that you're in, you speak from a place of authority because of the difference between being in a business and that business being in you. And you're the
Mm.
kind of person, there's no in between for you. You're the kind of person who think like A.L. Williams, all you can do is all you can do, and all you can do is enough, but make sure you do all you can do. You are a kind of person that you are all in or nothing.
Yeah.
That's who you are.
Wow.
Yes. And so
Wow.
when you pull from experiences that you've had, because if people can Google information,
True.
okay, but Siri and no app can replace the stamp that Wanda put on you, honey. You are truly Wanda's child.
Yes, I am.
You are your mama's
Wow.
child. Yes, indeed.
Wow.
I'm looking
Wow.
forward to working with you. We're going to do some great things together.
I am too, Les. You are truly life changing, and I am forever grateful just to have your books and your audios and the YouTubes of the impact that you've made. But this is priceless to have this intimate moment right now. To You said it, most people do not listen. For the lady to reply like she did, it was just out of habit. But you caused me to go inner for a moment, to think deeper, to go into a place that I don't visit a lot. And I'm in my imagination a lot, but it's always about the future. And it's something so powerful and profound and humbling about what you did tonight. So thank you so much. I am forever grateful for our prelude to what
Yes,
we're doing.
yes. Let me share this with you. God asked Adam, where are you? Not because he didn't know, because God is omniscient, all knowing,
Yeah.
and omnipresent, evenly present everywhere at the same time. God asked Adam that because he wanted him to think. See, life is a question, and how we live our
Mm.
lives is the answer.
Wow.
And so
Wow.
these questions that I ask you, and when we spend some time together, there's a process that I love to do with you with three cameras that I'll ask you a series of questions that through those questions you'll learn how to speak from your heart. Through those questions you will see what it is that drives you, that cause you to become the woman that you are, the wife that you are, the parent that you are. Through that questioning process, it will connect you with your power voice. See, we all have another voice. This is not my original voice. And when you connect with your power voice, it allows you to transcend colors. It will allow you to speak to people from all walks of life. It will allow you to transform people individually and collectively. When you see me speaking in the Georgia Dome, to me, the most important part, and someone called it to my attention, not so much of my speaking, but the silence between the words when I spoke, that there was no crowd noise, no noise that where we had to say, could you get quiet for just a moment? That they were being held, and what kept them together, that gave me the breakthrough, that when you tell the story about the impact that your mother has had on you, and I'm going to spend some time working with you on this, and the master keynote. And why is that important? Well, we know about President Barack Obama because of the audacity of hope. We know about Dr. King, I Have a Dream. We know about T.D. Jakes, Woman, Thou Art Loose. People know about Les Brown, You Got to Be Hungry. And so there's a signature message in you. Even just with Wanda. What W, spell it for me. One at a time.
W-A.
Hold a minute, just Wanda. W, the willingness to do what is required. You know, Jesus said, whoever will, let him come. As you look at your goals and look at your dreams, are you willing to sacrifice? How badly do you want it? Are you willing to give up time with people who don't have goals and dreams? Are you willing to give up the behaviors that's been holding you back? Are you willing to die to who you are now, to give birth to who you are destined to become? Next letter. A, accountability partners. None of us make it by ourselves. Surround yourself with OQP, only quality people, people that will hold you accountable. Studies indicate that when you have accountability partners, collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships, that increase your chances of your success, of your reaching your goals by 42%. Next letter. N. As you look at yourself and look at your goals and look at your dreams, it's very important that you have the mindset and the deep down resolve to never give up. You're going to fail your way to success. Things are going to happen. You're going to have setbacks. But Willie Jolly was right. A setback is a setup for a comeback. Life will slap you down. And Les Brown was right. When life knocks you down, try and land on your back. Because if you can look up, you can get. Next.
D.
Dream big. Most people fail in life not because they aim too high and miss. Most people fail in life because they aim too low and hit. Dream big. You don't know who you are to the extent to be a cynic. Greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. You don't know that much about yourself to give up on your dreams or to suffer from possibility blindness. You have greatness in you. Greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. Next letter.
A.
Say it again.
A.
Yes. Adaptability. Become the kind of person that can adapt, that can be flexible, that can be versatile, because this is a brand new world. You have to learn how to throw your net on the other side. This is no time to be one-dimensional. You have to create at least 3 core competencies in order to master this new economy where we are. You've got to look at different ways of creating multiple streams of income in order to put a wall of protection between you and the challenges of life and the recessions of life, which brings about your ability to become resourceful. Next thing.
That's it.
Come on, baby. Look out. Don't start me. Look here. Don't let this 74 fool you. I still got the juice up in here, up in here. Oh, let me tell you, so I can share with you how with your skills and knowledge and all the things you've been doing, how you can become a global and National Voice and No Time Flat. Why?
Mm.
Because we don't have enough females out here.
Wow.
67% of the people who go to seminars and workshops are females. So my daughter,
Yeah.
Ona Brown, you've seen her. And ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen, if you haven't, she looks like me with a bit without a beard. You can go to onabrown.com, ONA. And so my goal is, and I owe it to my mother, is to train women, men, young kids, people of all ages who have a voice. I was talking to a young man named Doc Rock today, and he said, "Man, I'm called to speak." I said, "That's what I'm talking about, my brother. I
Yeah.
want to talk with someone that they feel that it's their calling. See, when it's your calling,
Mm.
a calling is something you love so much, you'll do it for nothing, but you do it so
Wow.
well that people will pay you to do it. I was called to speak. I talk in my sleep.
Mm.
Okay, what time is it now? We're the warm up act for everybody that's listening. Yeah, what time is it now? I hope
Oh my
yeah, I'd
God.
like to get some comments from those of you that have been eavesdropping on our conversation. Did you learn anything up at here? Up at here. So how much time do we have?
Wow. We're actually overtime. We're 10 minutes after 10. It was
Oh,
so amazing. Nobody said anything. Or, I mean, that was a priceless moment. I'm so glad that it's on Facebook Live that I can go back and rewatch it and relearn and listen because that was priceless. Thank you.
you're quite
Thank you,
welcome.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you again for just having the vision to see anything on the inside of me. And you said something about speaking. I know that my purpose is in my voice and speaking. And I knew that it was from young, but I believe that the gift that God has given you, many times the enemy would try to use it and pervert it. And so the first thing that I wanted to do was music and wanting to sing, realizing that maybe it wasn't my gift. I went to rapping, and I'm talking about a tongue that will cuss you out so bad,
Hmm.
and I enjoyed every bit of it. And I realized I enjoyed every bit of it.
Thank you for your honesty.
I enjoyed that you would not expect it coming, and I did it so, so well. I got a little bit of joy out of doing that. So,
I understand. Listen, I'm a baby Christian, honey. I understand up in here, up in
so
here.
thank God for his deliverance because when the Holy Spirit came, it then showed me why, you know, the enemy wanted to use me in that way because God had a different plan for my life. The same tongue that I would use to cuss people out, God wanted to use to bless people. And so I knew that my gifting was in my voice. And so to hear it come from the legendary Les Brown not only provides confirmation, but it does something into your spirit to know that we have to be a blessing to nations and generations. So thank you once again. I appreciate you. I see my husband on right here. Hey, babe,
All right.
watching.
What's his name? What's
So
your husband's name?
he is Andre Logic Mix on here.
Andre,
You
what's
have to
up, my
scroll.
brother? All right. Well, let me share this with you. Ladies and gentlemen, the
Yeah.
reason that we're on tonight is because of the fact that we want to introduce you to the methods and techniques in this new economy of how people are generating wealth, and it's a difference between the a job, the journey of the broke. No, this is different. Most Americans, by the time they work on a job for 40 years, they have a net cash value of $250. And so this is about how to create wealth. Why is that important, Les? Because one sickness can wipe out a fortune. When I was diagnosed with prostate cancer and I tried to get insurance, they said they turned me down. When I finally found a company that will insure me, it cost me $5,000 a month. Yes, you heard me right.
Wow.
$5,000 a month. And I've been paying that for years. And because I could afford it, the average person can afford that. That's why I
Mm-mm.
support the Affordable Health Care Act and all the people who oppose it. Those individuals, they have government uh, insurance and assistance. Those senators and Congress people who oppose what they call Obamacare because they demonize the name. And so But it's better to have money and not need it than to need it and not have it. I was a state legislator in Columbus, Ohio, and I had a promising political career. And when my sister called me and said, Leslie, are you sitting down? And I said, what's wrong with Mama? She said, Mama has breast cancer. I said, I'll be there tomorrow. And I'll never forget the staff said, you can't leave now. You just got elected to the third term. You're the chairman of the Human Resource Committee and the Education Committee. I said, listen to me. I enjoy politics, but I love my mama. And my mother, she took us in as foster kids when we were 6 weeks of age, me and my brother, my twin brother, Wesley. And then she took on 5 other children. And I promised her, I said, if anything ever happened to you, I will stop whatever I'm doing and I'll be there for you. I'll be there. And I honored my commitment to my mother and bought her 4 different homes before she made her transition. Wow. That meant a lot to me. And so I don't know what your golden dream is, but what we're going to talk about tonight, something that I believe that as China explained it to you and share with you some insights that, and I want to be perfectly transparent and open with you. I'm just learning. I've just been introduced to this. So I'm a student along with you. And I believe that you're never too old to learn and you're never too young to teach. And so China is one of those individuals who, when she learns something, she learns it and she owns it. And so China, I want you to share with them what it is that you do now and how you've been introducing people to this company that will allow.
Are you still there unless you went out on my
Yes,
end?
I'm sorry. When these phone calls come through, I just push stop. So I do apologize. We just have to pause for a minute and we'll come back. Okay, go ahead.
Well, thanks so much again for not just the introduction, but the honor of being on your social media platform. I don't take that lightly. I know that there's millions of people who are watching you around the world who know, love, and respect you and trust you. And so I don't take this for granted. I don't take it lightly. And I thank God for the opportunity. So thanks again for that introduction. I'm grateful that we had a chance to reconnect. I know I sent you a picture of us 8 years ago.
Yes.
8 years ago. And around this time of year, the holiday time. And I admire that with all the success that you've acquired, you know that maybe everybody will not have the desire to speak, but you still want to give such a global impact that when you find something good, you're open to sharing that information and knowledge with people. So thank you for your commitment to just serving. We are part of a very unique space that has actually been around for centuries. And for me as an African American woman, being from New Orleans, Louisiana, this was not the conversation that we were having at our dinner tables. It was not the curriculum that we were being taught in schools. This information has been exclusive to the uber and ultra wealthy. And I'm the type of person that when I find something and I find that something is good, not only do I want it to change and impact my family and my legacy, I wanted to impact those that I know and those that I love. And so we were introduced about 29 months ago to the Forex industry. The Forex market is actually an acronym. It stands for foreign exchange. And the truth of the matter is many of us have talked about the wealth transfer. We prayed about the wealth transfer. We know something is coming, but most of us don't really have the articulation or understanding of how we can get involved in it. And usually, quite frankly, it takes a lot of money to even acquire a certain level of information to put you in a better position. Well, by the grace of God, we were introduced to an amazing concept of how now, because of technology and innovation, you can actually have access to something that we had no permission to be a part of. And so when I first heard about this foreign world of Forex, which once again stands for foreign exchange, I was just like most people. I thought that, what are they talking about? I mean, you know, I didn't understand the language. I'm looking at these charts and they look like EKGs and I'm extremely overwhelmed as a mom. I'm thinking to myself, I counted myself out. I was like, oh, I'm not that chick. I started itching. Like, you know, when you looking at something and you start scratching, like, Charles,
Yeah.
I hear these people, but like it was, they might as well had been talking Japanese to me because nothing that they were saying made sense. And I'm just being real authentic and transparent because sometimes I think we miss it in life because we say we don't understand, opposed to saying, you know, it's okay that you don't understand, but don't allow you not understanding something to prevent you from learning about it. You know, I don't know who it was that said this, and I know you're so amazing at quotes. I'm going to be like you one day, Les. I promise you, I am going to make you proud because you always know who these philosophers are. But they said that in the 21st century, being illiterate is not going to be whether or not you can read or write. It's going to be whether or not you can learn, unlearn, and relearn again. And so what I'm about to say may sound foreign, but I want you to push through with it. Because with technology and innovation, it has been simplified and now made available to us. So to give you guys a simple description of what we're doing, we are literally taking advantage of the foreign exchange market on our cell phones. I mean, this is the coolest thing ever. I thank God that He didn't allow me to miss this one. We have an app that we download on our phone, and we have an educational platform that literally teaches us how we can take advantage of a $5.3 trillion a day industry. And I'll be honest with you guys, unless I'm going to be real transparent because that just works for me. I want to speak to the heart of the woman, to the heart of the man who knows nothing about what the heck I'm saying, who maybe as I'm speaking is ready to hit the end button because they are already lost in my words. I want to speak to the pain that they may be going through right now because they know that they need to do something as we come into 2019, but they really don't have a plan. They really don't know what it is. And maybe what they think is a plan is just what they're familiar with, what they're comfortable with, not realizing that maybe they're living the same year over and over and over again because that plan is antiquated. I want to take you into a new financial reality, one that will give you power at your fingertips to multiply money. You see, it's one thing to go to a job and work a 9 to 5, right?
Yeah.
Where your time is consumed to do something, right? You're working for money. You're working for money. It's something else when you have systems that are working for you that could relieve you of your presence, meaning you don't have to be there. You can go on a vacation and the system is still working and money is still coming in. But it's something that's even more powerful when your money can now work for you. All we want to do is bring you to the right side of money. We want to show you something that maybe you were not taught in school. All we provide is an educational platform to teach you the new rules of money so that you can be in the driver's seat. I don't care what your educational background is. I don't care what your current financial situation is. I don't care what they told you when you were younger. Listen, if you can play a game on your phone, you can trade with us. You know, I love how my good girl Wanda Webb says. She says that if you can wash a load of clothes, you can trade. There's more buttons on your washing machine than there is in this trading space. Our company provides you amazing education that really guides you on how you can become a lifelong profitable trader. And millennials are all over it. You know, when I spoke with your grandson, Trey, oh my gosh, he was just absolutely through the roof. He was just, I mean, these millennials, they fire you up because they're so innovative and they're so open for the challenge. I want to encourage the baby boomers, Generation X, to say, you know what? This is my time and this is my season. If Mr. Les Brown is open at 74 years old to learn this technology and innovation that would allow him to multiply money from the tips of his fingers on a device that we all have, which is our cell phone, then I want to go along with that ride with him. I want to be a part of that with him. I want to grow money from pennies to dollars, from dollars to hundreds, from hundreds to thousands, from my cell phone. We teach you. We even give you what we call a demo account. And that demo account allows you to practice, and I promise you, it's like a game. If you've ever played a game on your phone, let me tell you something. There's no game like this game because this game gives you the potential for it to be real money. But in the beginning, we give you a demo account so that you can actually see how it feels to trade. Now, I want to put a warning out here, just so you know. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you are. And I don't care what you think about what I'm saying right now. When we put you in a position to trade, I just want you to know, it's extremely addictive. Like, I'm talking about so addictive. Moms, if you're cooking, make sure you turn the rice off so that you don't burn the rice. Because when you have your phone up and you're putting a trade in and you see that you put in a 10-cent trade and that 10-cent trade is up to $40 and $50 and it's moving, you forget the rice is cooking. So turn the rice off. You forget it's cooking less.
Yes.
Listen, you don't even want nobody talking to you. Listen, you're so into your phone. You're so excited. It is such an emotional connection to know that you have the power and the ability to now tell money what to do. See, here's what I know. And I'm a believer of that good book. Here's what I know. Guys, money was never designed to be the master. Most people, and it breaks my heart, their whole entire life is money mastering them. And what do I mean by that? I mean that money tells you where to live. It tells you what kind of car to drive. It tells you where to send your children to school. It tells you the type of food to eat. It even tells you how long you can stay home with your brand new baby. Because usually in America, they only give you about 6 weeks. But what if money was no longer an issue? What if we entertained that for a moment, regardless to what you were told, just for a moment? What if you entertained that if money was no longer an issue and you had the ability to multiply it with the tips of your finger from a device that you have every single day? Would you be open to entertaining that? Would you join us? Because you don't just get the ability to learn the skill set when you partner with a Mr. Les Brown, the legendary, outstanding, world-renowned Les Brown. You don't have a choice but to grow when you're in this environment. You don't have a choice but to believe more when you're around Mr. Les Brown. Greatness just begins to ooze out of you, just being in his presence. So the things that you thought that you probably could never do, you're doing. And it feels so good because finally you're in an environment where people are championing you on. They're celebrating your success because they're not intimidated about your greatness because they're leveling up too. So you don't just get to learn a skill set that no one will ever be able to take from you. Never. You get to be in the presence of greatness while your greatness is beginning to be exposed to the world. That alone is priceless. That alone, the mentorship. Listen, if you had an opportunity to get on a call with Mr. Les Brown just once a month out of your life, how much would that be worth to you? I want you to put that in the chat for me. How much would it be worth to you if you, no matter what you do right now, no matter what your business is, no matter what your occupation is, no matter where, knowing what you know now and the global impact that he has made on the world, how much would it be worth to you to have access to Mr. Les Brown, exclusive access? I'm not just talking about engaging on Facebook. I'm talking about exclusive, at least once a month. How much would it be worth? Put a number in there. I'm just interested. For those of you who know personal development, that knows that you got to have a coach, you need to have a mentor. How much would it be worth to you just to have the partnership and alliance with people who have great vision, that's on a march to have 1 million people that we impact by 2020? Wouldn't you want to be a part of that financial revolution? Wouldn't you want your kids to be a part of seeing you winning and shining and a part of an amazing environment and culture? Guys, that's what we have available for you right now. This partnership is divine. I'm so clear. It is a divine alignment. I'm so clear. And those of you who say yes right now, some of you don't quite know what you're saying yes to, but you got a yes in your belly because you've been looking for something and you just feel like this is it and you're ready to move forward. Some of you need more information and we expect that. So we have something exclusive that's happening Saturday, coming up on the 22nd at 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time. I believe that is 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, where you're going to get all of the details. But let me say this. For those of you who don't want to wait, you're saying to yourself, 2019 has to be the best year of my life. 2019 has to be an exceptional year. 2019, I don't have a choice but to win. 2019, I got to do all that I can to make sure that I'm leaving a legacy. And I know that if I'm partnered with someone that can just help me with my mind, that can be a bit of accountability, that can put me in a different environment, I have a better chance at winning. We want to get the details to you for Saturday. Some of you ready to move right now. Some of you know what first movers advantage is, and you like, Les, I don't want to wait till Saturday. I know I want to do this right now. I know that this is what I've been looking for. This is what I've been seeking for. This is what I've been praying for. I'm in now. If you're in, I'm in. Those people, I want you to reach out.